Hello, I'm Juliana Chediek. I'm a PhD student at Universidade de Coimbra, and I would like to thank so much for the opportunity to talk about my research here. I'd like to thank Professor Dr. Alexandre Aragão, Professor Dr. Clarissa Dissip, and Professor Dr. Philippe Billet for the opportunity. Now I'm going to share my screen. Here. My paperwork is about opportunities for environmental paradiplomatic practices at transnational strategic alliances of innovation for innovation. So today I'm going to divide this presentation into parts. And the second part, the first part is to demonstrate interaction between public-private partnerships of innovation and sustainable development. Here I'm talking about two specific partnerships for innovation, of innovation. We have strategic alliances and cooperation agreements. In both of them, we have two players, one public player and one private player working together to achieve something, service, or to develop goods that does not exist in market. We are talking about public contracting with technological risk. We are talking about two players with the same goal, achieving the same goal. This public contracting, this public procurement is a little bit different from normal public contracting, because in normal public contracting, we have different sides of the contract. We have a public player and a private player. One pays for the service and other brings the service that's already made, like cleaning service or office goods that are a classic example of public contracting. In innovation procurement, we have a very specific object of the contract. I brought to you an example that's very interesting. I don't know if you can see. Here we have in this actual time nowadays a partnership between the government of São Paulo in the person of the Center of Research Instituto Butantan with Sinovac Biotech Laboratory in China, in Beijing, China. They are working together to develop a vaccine for coronavirus. So these two players, a public player in Brazil and a private player in Beijing, they are working together to create a vaccine, a drug that does not exist in actual market. So we have this cooperation, and it's an international cooperation. The study goal, the first study goal is to demonstrate that in these partnerships, in these innovation partnerships, we also have to maintain environmental standards, because innovation is very important for our society. Economic development is very important, is a priority in Brazilian constitution, and innovation is important for the planet. Technology is important for the planet, but also environment protection is important for the planet. So we have to balance the two values, the two constitutional values. In Brazil, we have both of them as constitutional values, and we also have to use environmental standards, in sustainable standards in innovation procurement, in innovation partnerships, not only in classical public achievements, in public acquisitions that are responsible consumption and production, but also in the partnerships, in public partnerships with private players. We must obey environmental standards. We can prove that using the precautionary principle, the systematic interpretation, the dialogue of the sources, the many sources of legislation that talk about public acquisition and procurement, they're also applicable to a partnership. This is the first part of the work. The second part of the work is to demonstrate that innovation partnerships can be paradiplomatic sustainable actions. So we hear in the example that we gave, that I gave before, we have the direct negotiation between paradiplomatic players. We don't have the government of Brazil, we don't have the government of China, but we have a public player in Brazil, a subnational player in Brazil that wants to play by environmental book, and we have on the other side a private player in China. Maybe the government of China does not, the state of China does not accept some environmental standards, but this lab that wants to contract with Brazilian government, with Brazilian subnational government of São Paulo to achieve this partnership successfully must play by environmental standards also that Brazil has obliged to follow, is obliged to follow. So here I brought to you sustainable guidelines in an analytical structure of project. And the example of the cooperation to build lab and develop vaccine. So I tried to demonstrate, to visualize how in different phases of the cycle of the contract, of the cycle of the partnership, we can use environmental standards, such as using efficient energetic solutions, recycled materials, biodegraded materials, responsible disposal. So we can have many criteria and standards, environmental standards used in the partnership, as we have in normal public contracting. Thank you so much. And my name is Juliana Chediek, as I told you, and this is my email if you want to talk more about this research of mine. Thank you so much.